Hello and welcome back. As you've just seen from that short bit of footage there, I have dismantled quite a lot of the railway. In fact, I think it's all gone now, but just still quite a few things to put away. But we will have a look at this wonderful RS.3 set from the early 60s in a moment. Let's just have a quick look around what's gone on. As you can see, we've got lots of very bare boards, so plenty of things just still waiting to go away. I don't know why that's standing up there, but it just ended up in that direction. So all of the tracks up and been tidied up a little bit. I'm just about to put it away in boxes. I've just given it a light clean before it's going away. All the point motors have come out. They'll live again. So there's plenty of life left in most of this. It's all second hand when I got it, but if I ever come back to it, I think we'll have some fun with that. But we'll just get all this put away in the box and wrapped up nicely to keep it in good condition for a later date. There are the modules for the 01. They've all come out. Some of those have boxes and some are unboxed, so they're still yet to find their way back into some packaging. So not packaging, sorry, into a box. So yeah, we've got lots of bare board. You can see the holes where everything's been in it. So we've also got all of the wiring out from underneath. So I'm backing into something. So all the cabling has come out all the way around. I won't continue showing that all the way around because it will just get rather dull. But ideally, I think it's about 2 weeks since I last made a video to get to this stage. I've got bank holiday weekend coming up in a little while. I think we're the 14th August at the moment, so bank holiday coming up shortly. So I have salvaged some cabling, so bits and pieces can be used again. Some of the lighter weight stuff that was used for the point work. So there's a good amount that is going to live again. Some of the cabling came from the previous layout, but I upgraded all of the point cabling. Just used a slightly heavier gauge wire this time around. So I think I'll probably stick with that next time. A lot of the long runs, that can all run again. So some of the longer runs on some of the point stuff. This stuff, these suitcase type connectors, or I think they're called I can't remember the technical term for them. I'm not sure whether I'll use those again. They did go in. I hadn't had too many problems, and I think overall there were 2 that failed and I had to replace them in the time that we're in, but they're certainly, I don't think they're really worth trying to reuse them. I suppose you could, but it could be very fiddly. I think these are very good, and then probably a few more soldered joints next time. So there are the tail ends off the point work. So they'll obviously come back and play on another date. I think I've got a flickering lamp in the room. I don't know whether you saw that. That's annoying. That's just happened. So yeah, we'll have a look over that set. We've got boxes and stuff everywhere. I am going to hopefully, by the time I get this lot put away, I'll make some sort of running repairs to this baseboard, neaten it up a little bit, and see there is just plenty of holes in it. Some of them larger than others. Some of them need to be filled. Some of them will just get away with the paint. We'll sort it out. And more boxes there. Some more bits and pieces over there. This is the back of the switches. So I'll probably just leave that. That has a very sudden effect on the camera, doesn't it? So we'll put that back. So we're just going to grab the 1961 catalogue from over here. We'll have a quick glance at it. Wonderful catalogue this. Mine has either been in damp or water, or something has been spilt on it, has affected quite excuse me. I'm sort of getting hiccups. I'm going to have to stop filming if that's going to keep happening. Yeah, you can see there's plenty of damage in there, but it doesn't really matter. The RS.3 set's got the Britannia and some Pullman coaches. I can't lift the lid off one-handed, so we'll jump the other side in a moment. We'll get the lid off that and we'll have a look over the items in there. And I think what we'll do, we'll get some of the track down and running. So this is a 61 catalogue, so I believe my set comes from 61 because the Locomotive has smoke, although I don't know whether the smoke works. I have to admit I've never run this Locomotive. I've used the coaches but never run the Locomotive. So it does have the smoke there. So what have we got here? So RS.3 Pullman train set with smoke. And you can see the contents of the set there. I'm not going to read that out. So it is just the locomotive, 3 Pullmans, and a small oval. I think it's first radius, or the small radius of the Series 3 track. We've got let me just spin this camera around a little and I'll be able to get in low there. We've got that wonderful sticker on the side of the box there that says with smoke. So this is pre-synchro smoke, so it's the sort of upright toothed tube. I don't know whether I've pronounced that correctly. Boxes is reasonably good. There is some damage to it, these corners. Very, very soft cardboard. I'm just going to flip that around again, otherwise that becomes really heavy. And wonderful illustrated sets here. They're really, really fantastic looking things. I suppose we should just have a quick glance through here. We won't get tied up with the catalogue too much. But I'm really looking forward to getting some other things down on this baseboard and being able to have a run with some items. A lot of items that I've acquired perhaps since this went down and haven't really had the chance to run other than just on a little bit of test track. There we go, we've got these lovely, lovely Pullmans here. So I think the Pullmans first came along, I think it was 58. I'm just looking at some notes. Yeah, 58 to 73. These remained in the catalogue with very little change. I think possibly a change to pinpoints instead of sleeved axles, and I think at some point the lights, the lamps on the tables were stopped being painted, and the brake came along, I think in 1960. It didn't come along with the rest of the coaches. It also ran in the range till 73, I think. And we had those wonderful, slightly newer ones with the silver seal wheels, which I also think are quite lovely items. I mean, these are just lovely up this size in the catalogue, aren't they? Standing on the steel track. Absolutely tremendous. I said we weren't going to get waylaid with this, but there we go. That's a lovely illustration of the tension lock couplings there. Or D-shaped couplings. Whatever we want to call them. Mark III couplings. There we've got the Series 3 track there. And the lovely TC locomotives. Overhead power system. So I think this is just the beginning of the phase 2, or the wire rather than the pressed steel. I know we had some of the pressed steel stuff out much earlier on, maybe 2 years ago now, but probably going to have some of that pressed steel out for real, get it running on the railway this time. Get some of these terrific items running. I don't have the TC version of the Steeple cab though, although I do have a maroon variant. I think I've got that. Sorry, I'm waving my hand. I've got it. I think it's in a box behind me. I saw it this morning. Those lovely TC sets. They're colourful. They're just so colourful. I can't imagine what that would have been like to see those standing in the toy shop. They're just such colourful items, especially compared to sort of British models. So they're quite staid colours. There we go. We really are getting bogged down with this. Lovely, lovely. Got one of those. It's getting very difficult to pick up the paper here. It's very, very soft, and we've had that running in the past. I think that's going to come out and play very shortly. Those lovely station items. We're going to have some of those. These are things to come. So I've never really had these out apart from a very, very early layout, which was sort of under a table. Never had it. They really had these buildings out. Great item of accessories there. We've got those Pullman, South Wales Pullman name boards. I do have some of those. I don't think we'll get those out this video, but they'll come along at a later date. I think we saw some of these figures in a polythene bag a couple of videos back, perhaps. Countryside series. I think we were talking about these elevated sections as well. There we go. That's the upright smoking tube there. You can see it was available as a separate item as well. there were some locomotives in the range which could have been converted if they didn't have smoke. You could have fitted smoke. Yeah, so I do have one of those. I'm not sure whether I can get that out of the box. Let me have a look. Actually, no. I think I might have buried the box. I don't know whether I can grab hold of the box. So I did get waylaid this morning looking at some things I hadn't seen for quite some time. I'm not sure I'll be able to get this out of the box one-handed. There we go. So homemade box there. Don't know what all this writing is on there. Let's see if we can remove that. It does have a plastic pantograph. Let's see if I can get that out of there. I don't know whether that's sellotaped at some point. So I'm not sure how. There you go. There is the very, very delicate plastic pantograph that came with this model. I really don't want to damage that. That is so fragile. I think I do have a replacement skate on it, but the base part of it is original. Let's see if we can unroll this and have a quick look at this item while we're at it. So it's a long time since I ran this one. There we go. Quite a lovely maroon colour. It's just, sorry, I'm not pointing in the right direction there. So there, that plastic pantograph would just push into there. I suppose you could put a real one on and adjust the wiring inside to make that run. Now I don't remember what model number that was, so I think that ends up being part of the primary range. Let's just run back to the catalogue and see if we can have a quick look at that. So pop that down there. There we go. The steeple cab from the primary range there. So that's R252 steeple cab locomotive electric with non-operating pantograph, and there it gives the length of the model, both in inches and centimetres. So I think we'll pop that to one side, and we'll get ourselves the other side of it's not really the railway at the moment because there's no railway on it. We'll get ourselves the other side, and I'll get the lid off that box, and we'll have a good look at it. So there we have it. Wonderful interior of the box, isn't it? Very simple. Let's see if we can just hover over here and have a look. A little bit of glare on the sides of these coaches. As I say, I haven't run the locomotive, but I've got no reason to suspect that it won't run. It's in relatively good condition. Let's just get in a bit closer. This yellow is playing havoc with the colour balance on the phone at the moment. It looks very peculiar on the image I'm looking at the moment. I'll have to see if we can perhaps correct that. So it looks in fairly tidy condition. I don't know whether that's corrosion or just congealed oil on there. So there's a little bit of wear on it. Lovely double lined one. It's got the see-through wheels. I think firstly when the Britannia came along in 1960 it had solid wheels, but it was generally upgraded. Got see-through wheels, magnet adhesion, and the upright smoke unit. I think this model could have been had with and without smoke over its time. And a lovely double line tender. And I think early tenders had disc wheels. I think later ones had spoked wheels. What have we got on here? Yeah, these are discs. They're not spokes. Where she's got it's got all its steps. But I think what we'll do, I'll get that set up on the bench. We'll have a quick look over it. Perhaps look inside it and see what's going on. I'm not sure. I think I might have to do some work on this track, or it might be quicker just to get some track I've already got prepared out. We'll see how what goes on with time. There's oil in here, I did notice. Hasn't got its sort of wax seal on the top, but does actually have some liquid in it still. Sometimes the liquid seems to have vanished. I think I've got one with a wax seal on and there's no liquid within it. So maybe somebody's magically got the wax seal off and back on again. But there is liquid within that bottle, but I don't think that cork's been out of there in a long, long time. So we'll pop that back in there for safekeeping. on the subject of oiling. Very wise information here. It's always nice to have these little bits of cardboard that we've got on the back there. Don't know whether we can get focus on there. Yeah, the motor which powers this model operates only from 12 to 15 volts DC. Direct current. AC current must not be used. So yeah, quite wise anyway. We'll not be using any AC current for a while. So now we're back onto proper controllers. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to use the clipper for this or whether I'll dig out the Morley. So we'll see how we do on time. So let's have a quick look at these coaches. I'll just get one of them out. This one's named Ruth. I think all the roofs are roughly the same colour, which is quite nice on here. Though there is some damage. That looks like it may well be soldering iron damage on the top of there, I think. Or is it something being splashed across it? It looks to have marked into the surface from what I'm seeing here. But there you can see that all of these coaches have the pink lampshades. So I'm not sure whether other colours are available. I know at some point that there were unpainted lampshades on these coaches. So she's got the name on both sides. Yeah, and I have run these coaches, I think. I used them to make up a rake on something I was running a long time ago. So let's pop that in there. I suppose we could have a swift look at the brake as well. Again, car 79. So I think let's just grab the notes. There we go. So car 79 would have been R328, and I think we said earlier that was available between 1960 and 73. Didn't come along at the same time as the standard Pullman parlour cars or coaches. I wasn't going to get that one out, was I? And I have, but I know I can't get the Locomotive out because of the card. The card container that it sits in is folded over slightly at the top. I remember trying to get that out a little earlier. Having a look at it, it requires the two hands, and we've got that lovely tape here. That's definitely worth a look at. Always worth looking at a bit of old tape. Trying Railways, and it's got the train set's name on it. So I wonder if they just printed those on a roll or little stickers perhaps. So it looks like a piece of tape. And we've got the RS.3 sticker on the box. I think that's on the ends of the box as well. I think I've seen it on the ends of the box yet. Let's see if we can lift that end of the box there. We've got the smoke badge there. And we must have a look at this terrific image. Just a lovely thing. So I'll get this on the bench and we'll have a look at it. So I've taken the body off the chassis, and it's dawned on me since I shot the last piece of video that I have run this in the past, but I have no memory of whether the smoke unit works or not, strangely. It's only looking at the YouTube videos I can see it's been out on the older railway with the Super 4. So let's just turn this around and have a look. I don't know whether are going to be able to see in there. There's not enough light. I don't think I'll get a drop-in picture there. You'll be able to see. I'll try and keep my fingers off the side there. So it's in relatively good condition. Definitely being played with. A little bit of paint loss here and there along the sides. I think these are metal nameplates there, and there is a little bit of sort of what looks like damage from the smoke unit work in there. There's sort of a discoloration in the chimney there. Let's just pop that around and have a look at this end here. You can see I don't know whether you can see the holes in the smoke box door there. The South Wales Pullman name board would go in there. Quite a nice item. We'll have that out another day. Let's pop that down and see if we can have a look at the chassis. So just to see if we can pick this one up. See if we can grab some focus on here. So I think I have had this running, as I said, so that any oil on it seems to have congealed a little bit. So I'm just going to give it a light clean, and I'll investigate whether that smoke unit works or not. Got absolutely no memory of that running whatsoever. I do have one of these with the synchro smoke as well, and another much earlier one, not much earlier one, but an early one with the solid wheels. This one's got the magnet adhesion, so the motor looks in fairly tidy condition, and the wiring in there looks to be all sort of original as far as I can see. So I'm not going to let's put my finger over this and turn it over, so we don't want to lose the part on the inside there. So the wheels have definitely done a bit of work, haven't they? Let's pop that down and see if I can just grab the tender. I seem to have left it out of shot. We'll put that down there. Excuse me while I grab this. Let's see if we can get a little focus on that. So you can see it's got some slight marking down the sides. You've got sort of sleeved wheels on there. Let's turn that over and see if we can see into there. I know we had a brief look over this before. Those wheels look quite shiny, don't they? And there is a coal load in there. It hasn't dropped out as I've turned it upside down, but I think it is sort of semi-loose. Yeah, I think that does. Yeah, it's loose there. I did hear it rattle early on. We've got a lovely metal ladder. Let's see if we can grab focus on that. It's a very, very pretty thing. So I'll give this a light clean, and we'll get it on the track. Actually, I've got to sort out the track as well, so it's taken a little longer to get this video together than I'd thought. So there it is, all set up on the table. First train running on the new railway, as it were. I got out the rubber tunnel, R176. I think they were available between 1959 and 1962, I think. I'm just going to check my notes. Yeah, that's right. 1959 to 1962. Sorry, I'm pointing that down at the floor there. So we'll just let that go round one more time, and at this speed it's not really producing very much smoke, but if you have a look at the insert picture there, you can see she does smoke if you really do wind it up, but I think that will just jump the rails on these curves at the moment. There is like a faint smell coming from it. Let's see if we can rotate the camera and get in a bit tighter for a couple of circuits. Through the tunnel. I had thought that was going to get the camera then. Let's have another go at that. Perhaps we'd better stop that before we damage the locomotive and the camera. So we'll get that to come round. Bring that gently to a stop there. Slight hum from the locomotive. Let's just run that backwards. So hopefully no derailments here. Actually, I could have uncoupled that, couldn't I? Let's have a go at this uncoupling ramp. I think out of all the track, this uncoupling ramp, I'm not pointing here, is probably in the poorest condition of the lot. The surface of the rails really are quite pitted. Let's do that. Let's see if we can just have one go at that. So we'll draw that forwards and see if we can get a bit closer there. Oh, I was expecting to have to back up, but those couplings have just popped up. Let's give that one more go. Let's back that up a little. That leapt into life way more than I thought it was going to. There we go. Let's have a look at those couplings there. So they have just popped up, look. So let's just roll that forwards now. we'll just run that around through that terrific looking rubber tunnel. And will it catch them at the other end? And let's just back that around. No, I don't think that's going to couple on the curve. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can encourage. It doesn't like that at all. So I'm going to bring that around on the straight. Excuse the hands. And let's bring that around. I think I've caused a derailment here somewhere along the line. Something doesn't sound great. But I think I should have paid more attention to these couplings. I think the one on the front of the Britannia there is just a little bit down. So I'm just going to grab a screwdriver and see if we can encourage that around. I'm going to rotate the camera again. So a few days have passed since I shot that last bit of video. And I haven't really got anything else sort of put away. But I did get the track cleaned up. And we got this on the move. Let's see if we can encourage that coupling up a little bit. There we go. And then down a little bit. Yeah, I think this the coupling on the front end of the Britannia is just sitting just far too low down, and it's causing the hook to bump into it. It does look to have a bit of a bend. I should have paid more attention to that. Let's give that one run around, I think. Yeah, there is one. I must have bumped that, and I can't find out which one that is. Yeah, I think we got that there. I realise I've just got this wired up on the controller running the wrong direction. There we go. Let's raise the uncoupling ramp again. I think that's what threw it last time. I left it up and enthusiastically ran over it, and it caused a little bit of an uncouple. So let's see what we can do here. Let's have a look in there. I think we might have that. Let's back that up. There we have it. Let's just take that round. A little bit of a jump into life there. And is this going to... There we go. Off it goes. It's a wonderful locomotive, R259. And I think that's R35, the tender. So let's just pop that there. And let's see if I can grab this rubber tunnel. So it is quite fragile. Let's just pick that up. It's very heavy as well. I'll just have a quick look over that. So we can see there is a little damage. It's sort of fractured over the years. And sort of, I think it's sort of distorted as well as these rubber buildings or rubber items tend to do. So it is rather beautifully painted, these sort of red areas. I'm not sure whether that is an original colour or not. But it does sort of look quite nice. Maybe red berries or something, or red grasses. And you can see the effect of smoke where the trains would have torn through the tunnel. Again, look at this fracturing to the rubber there. But it's quite a lovely thing. I've had it for some time. Like many things, it's sat in a box for such a long time. It's lovely steps. Running up there is just such an amazing item. Let's have a look over the top. There's a little bit of wear through to the rubber and so on there. That's really quite a tremendous thing. Let me see if I can turn that over without damaging it and have a look at the material on the inside. I don't think there's any lettering on this. I don't know whether there would have been stickers. You can see how it's sort of discoloured in there and the cracks within the rubber work there. It really is quite tremendous. So I'm just going to pop that down. We'll just have a quick glance over that in the catalogue. See if I can put that down without causing too much of a noise. So there we go, yeah, R259 and R35 tender. I think later on they're sold as all one item under R259 or R259S perhaps for the smoking version. The model went on to be developed, I think, into the, is it the Oliver Cromwell? I may well have got that name wrong. I think that jumped to tender drive at that point and then back into Britannia later on in the Silver Seal, the later Silver Seal range when the motor changed. I think I've run that model in the past. Have a look at that in another video if you have a look through them. Let's see if we can jump through to these rubber buildings. I know we already looked at this, but let's just have a look at it in the catalogue before we go. There we go. So I'm standing on a very squeaky part of the floorboards here, so there is the tunnel. It's difficult to see really whether that red is an original colour, and these are particularly, sorry, not, these are possibly just illustrations rather than worked off photographs. So R179 tunnel single track. What's that? 16.5 inches, 41.9 centimetres. I don't know whether that's big enough to see on the video there, but available 1959 to 1962. But I think that's it for this week. If you look back, so I'll say that again, if you look back again next time, we'll see how we've done with the railway, and hopefully I will have got most of this lot all tidied away.